Hey, Paul, have you ever been to a party where some of the guests just wanted to kill you?
No, I haven't, but maybe that's because we're not 15th level adventurers.
Hi, I'm Rob Egan.
And I'm Paul Zajac.
Welcome to Boss Battles, where we take sports commentary and smash it together with D&D live play.
Kind of. Okay, so today we had the pleasure of working with one of the writers for this book, Josh Jenne. He's the primary author, I think. Dropping boss battles and encounters. And I also have to thank my friend Brianna, who got me this book and was like, "You guys are boss battles. This is boss battles. You should probably try and connect." And we did. So yeah, so you tell us a little bit more about the venture because you play tested it.
I did, yeah. So for today's adventure, this is something that we're able to take from the book and be able to just run it. And I think we even say during it, it's really easy that if you wanted to put in your own campaign, it'd be super easy to do that as well.
Yeah, because there's lots of good hooks that don't make it specific to this one particular event, and we kind of did that because we've got this running thing with the Institute for Human Betterment and Bernard Sowerberry. There's a little bit of Stan Partus in there too. So yeah, you could adapt it for your own campaign quite easily.
Yeah, and in this encounter, our adventurers are invited to a gala to where they can celebrate and be merry. However, they didn't know it was a trap set by Bernard Sowerberry of the
Right.
Institute for Human Betterment, or IHB. So that's where our encounter begins.
Okay, let's take a look, and then we'll catch up with you at the end.
All right.
Hey everyone, welcome again to Boss Battles. My name is Paul Zajac, and super happy to have Team Norway with me again. Hopefully, I don't get as beat up as he did last time when when Ula's paladin just destroyed that vampire. We do have another paladin in the party today, so I'm not hopeful about the outcome, but we'll see. Okay, so let's go around the circle. So right below me, we got Ula. Say hi.
Hello, I'm Ole. I'll be playing Nicholas Oliver Time, or Nick O Time for short, the human cleric of light.
All right, next.
Me, I'm Hannesiri. Today I will be playing everyone's favorite little sister, Summertime. And you know she's good for a party because she is a paladin. Oath of the Watchers, of course.
Okay, all right, and then down in the bottom right corner, we've got Yun.
Yep, I'm Jon. I'll be playing Golden Hour, the human divination wizard, obsessed with the concept of predetermination.
Okay, and right, just finally, and right above Yun, we've got.
Hi, I'm Vegard. Today I will be playing Just in Time, the Eloquence Bard, the life of this party.
Okay, great. And next, I'll allow Rob briefly some time to introduce our guest commentator.
Hi everyone, it's Rob Egan again, and today we have.
Hi, yeah, I'm Josh with Leopard Print Press. This is our second book that we wrote for Kickstarter and for aspiring and experienced DMs out there. Yeah, no, I'm very excited to be here. I'm glad that you guys picked the Gala assassination as the encounter. We feel that it is a great way to introduce BBEG, or it's a great way to red wedding your players.
That's great. Yeah, I think we're going to have a really exciting battle. I love also the gala ways that it can just kind of get put into any adventure you're running in many different ways. But again, we can talk about that after the battle.
Fight. And we're back. So we discussed the setup beforehand. We pre-rolled initiative with Ula going first, and so as the party is kind of underway, and our heroes are gathered together at a table here. There was much discussion about which table and how many seats, but finally they got themselves to sit down. Somebody takes the stage. kind of out of nowhere, this guy comes. You didn't really see him come. Diminutive gnome, and he goes, "Can I have everybody's attention, please?" And he produces, one of his hands that's got a ring on it, and he's using something on the ring, and all of a sudden, there's an illusion cast of another person, and that person materializes. So it's a elven wizard, must be wizard. Jon Goldenhour recognizes him as a wizard, I guess. And this guy's in black robes, and he introduces himself as Renard Sourberry III, wizard philanthropist, who's part of the Institute for Human Betterment, and he's invited all you humans here today to his party as a benefit, and he reads the following speech. "Greetings, everyone, and I thank you for all coming to my event. It has always been a pleasure gathering guests from far and wide. I don't want to take too much of your time, so I'll make my speech short. Everyone here has a greater purpose in life. Regardless what you've done, everyone here is getting exactly what they deserve in life." And he looks around and he says, "Glorious sacrifice." And with that, these people who've been hooded, who are amongst you and on the balcony above, they seem to be reaching for something, and that's when we would have entered initiative. However, I'm going to pause. I'm going to let the party discuss how they want to spend the time while Renard Sourberry III is giving his speech. They're going to have an opportunity to do something, and when we briefly pause and come back, we'll find out what that is. Okay, so you guys have had a little second to discuss what your characters would have been doing while Renard Sourberry III is making his suspicious speech, and I gave you the choice of remaining kind of below the radar or doing stuff, and surprise, surprise, D&D players elected to do stuff. So go ahead and tell me what you guys are doing. Ula?
Set up rounds are just so helpful.
So he stretches out his hands and speaks a short prayer. "I seek the powers of eternity to protect us from danger." And instantly, a field of glowing radiant light spreads out from him, surrounding him and the entire area in a 30-foot radius with a soft golden light as he casts Holy Aura.
Okay. So I think there's a faint circle there, and that's I think that's correct radius. So people inside that have some protection, except for the employees, which you've not included in the aura, and they look disappointed.
Yes.
Okay. Hanasiri, what is summertime doing?
Summertime smells a rat here, so she is going to, but she doesn't know how long it is until things are going to go bad. So she takes one of her longer lasting protective potions and drinks a potion of heroism. At the same time, she also sends a telepathic message to her trusty steed, Timothy Time, outside.
Bless you.
All disease thing. But unfortunately, it turns out that there are bad guys outside as well, and poor Timothy is not going to be strong enough to take them out and also bust through the door in any sort of reasonable time.
Right.
So, unless we manage to open the door, he's kind of out of the battle.
Okay, so you're drinking your potion. So now, within like the initiative order that is going to proceed, the bad guys, they get an attack against you this round because of that, and so it's just the ones on the balcony who are going to attack. So each of you will take 2 attacks.
With disadvantage.
The disadvantage is going to be huge from the aura. Level 8 spell.
The first
Yeah.
you are going to get
It's going to be great, though.
13 and an 18.
Yeah, they only have +8 to hit, and I'll go over the math on that, why we chose +8. But
And the
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
would be just a 7. So does either of those hit you? I don't think it
Who?
does.
Me?
Yeah.
No. No,
Okay.
no.
it's a net -5 on the roll, so that was a very good play, especially with 17 people shooting at you.
I think your armor class is 20. Right? So
It just
you get
stacks with the number of enemies against you.
And Yon, the first is.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were gonna do a surprise round against
and the next one is
the crowd as opposed to the players.
Yeah, those are it.
Okay. All right. So then you take from the crossbow bolts. You take 7 piercing damage, and now you have to make a Constitution saving throw for each dart.
Are these poison?
Yes, they are.
All right, then I have advantage on saving throw from
Okay,
my
great.
health and warwick kind.
I believe you have +4 from my aura.
All right.
I love paladins.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Aura,
DC.
just the math on that. A +4 is like what, an extra 20% on the D20 or higher than that. I don't know. I can't do math. I'm a writer, not a math person.
5% for each point, so yeah, 20%.
17,
Okay.
and another roll, right? Another dart hit me. Yep. And a natural 20.
Okay. So you save.
Rolling with advantage, getting the paladin aura.
You'll take a total of 27
Yeah.
points of.
I'm curious what the divination wizard's buttons are, and I'm excited to see when he throws them in there.
So 14 and 27 total.
Yeah, and I have resistance against poison damage. So
Okay.
that's
So
half
even
again.
half. So that you take half of 27.
What a clutch choice, because
You take 13.
poison I feel is not as strong in
27
edition.
damage from the piercing damage and the poison.
So I kind of ignore poison resistances. However, we did put poison in here because it is assassins, and most people ignore, like poison resistance. But that was a good call.
Disadvantage.
Yep.
Second attack with the disadvantage is a 19.
19 would hit. I will use one of my spell wrought tattoos to cast shield as a reaction.
Nice.
That includes my armor class to 22.
Well,
Okay.
there's the reaction. So he has no counterspell, but I don't think he needs counterspell for this.
Again, it's a setup round, so probably not.
First part of this combat, which we're saying is.
I really like the setup round idea.
That's for their attacks. But Yon and Vagar, you guys are doing things, right? Yon, you're putting up explain what you're doing.
Yes. Golden touches his forehead and mutters, "I see all," and he opens his third eye.
Man after my own heart.
Activating his ability to see invisible creatures and objects.
Okay, nice. Vagar, what have you been doing with this? Well, Renard is giving a speech.
Yeah, so I think Justin is reaching for a hip flask on his inner pocket, anticipating a very boring speech from some noble, and seeks protection from stronger liquor than is currently being served. But then suddenly spells start flying, arrows are hailing down. One of his tattoos flare up and deflect a bolt as he reaches for the next pocket over for one of his potions, and instead drinks a potion of invulnerability, granting him resistance to all damage for the next minute.
Yeah, it's just that easy. Okay, great. So with that, while this is going on, Renard is talking. He finishes his speech, and the crowd hadn't really picked up on what was going on, less seasoned than all you all are, and so now there's panic starting. You see. Most of you notice that Apex disappears. However, you see that he's become invisible, and you're able to track him.
I've always said divination is the strongest school of magic. Although enchantment has a good argument, but knowledge is power, and being able to see the bad guy, because the writing it and the intention was for the bad guy to either was mainly for them to get away, which, obviously it's D&D, so if you give players a door, they'll go through the wall, or they'll circumvent the door in ways that you didn't even imagine. So I imagine that the guy now dies because of seeing visibility, but if you're introducing a BBEG and they red wedding all of the crowd and leave the players alone, kind of, and then he makes an escape, it's like, oh, we have a new villain in our campaign to worry about. But
exactly. And again, as I was saying earlier, just being able to really put this in anywhere where your current campaign is, like the availability of just having social interactions, large parties. This is a really great encounter for that. So let me get some thoughts about the setup round, because I know you had mentioned during the comments you love setup rounds. I
I
also
love this. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, I also think they're great. A lot of times I get players saying, well, the villain is monologuing, I want to do something. And instead of having chaos at the table where everyone's trying to do something before everyone else, you just say, let it monologue, you get a setup round. What are your thoughts?
I love that. At my table, usually, like, with our player, I've been LARPing and playing D&D with the same squad for like 10 years. So we're, when someone has the spotlight, we let them have the spotlight. But I know not every table is the same, and your group is very well oiled. People know what they're doing. They're not looking up stuff. They know, hey, I'm going to pop this potion. I'm going to cast this spell. There's no humming and hawing. So that's really great. And I love this setup round because, yeah, like you said, it lets the guy monologue. It lets you have a second of preparation. Yeah, and like when writing, I had to completely throw away the first adventure that I wrote because it was too railroady. And when we took the approach of don't give them a story, give them a sandbox and let them just play in the sandbox, that really improved how we design encounters and just design adventures in general. So, here's the sandbox. Like the intent, it's built in that the guy will escape, and it's built in that, maybe the assassins do a surprise round. I have it right here. It's written in there that if you want to do it as a surprise round, do it as a surprise round. Like, we give out the options on how you can do it. We lay out some suggestions, but otherwise, it's in the DMs and the players' hands as to what happens. And yeah, I'm gonna actually pitch this to my squad. There's 2 DMs in the group, and having a setup round, I think will, because sometimes the biggest, I think personally, the biggest cause of TPKs is the enemies getting a surprise round on you. But with the intention for this one was for the assassins to have a surprise round, but on the crowd, as opposed to on the players. But because the players were doing things, they started targeting the players, which is fantastic and completely reasonable within the assassin's mindset.
Yeah, it makes total sense that if I see someone starting to like protect themselves with auras, and the mission for the assassins is to take out the crowd, then you're going to start focusing fire on the more powerful ones. And also, I like I love what you said with the surprise round, where sometimes it can really devastate a party. But if you focus on NPCs or others, you can get that same surprise, not devastate or like completely crush a party in round one, and still have that element of just like the necessity to take this threat out quickly. So I really like that suggestion. I think I'm gonna start using it where it's more focus your fire and show the threat, but not necessarily against the players themselves. Spell
Exactly.
choices. I know you said Holy Aura level 8, like amazing. You're mentioning Divination Wizards are some of your favorite classes. Is your favorite wizard?
From a
So
role
spell
play
choices.
and a mechanic standpoint, I think that, with wizardry, knowledge is power. I mean, if you could divine the stat blocks of other things, I don't look at stat blocks unless I'm making them. And we're running like Curse of Strahd right now, and I own the book, but I refuse to read it, which is kind of bizarre for me, as a D&D player, like having never played Curse of Strahd. Everything is completely new for me, and I'm not going to spoil it for myself because that's extremely disrespectful to the DM and the time they put into it. So, sorry, going back to divination, just, knowing things, especially like, if you come across a language that your party doesn't, you can't swing your axe at everything. Coming across a language you don't understand, if you can cast like comprehend languages or identify item or even like scrying, just divination spells are just fantastic. From a roleplay perspective, I love the idea of a wizard who's obsessed with fate. I don't know if you guys saw like Westworld season 3 with Rehoboam, who's basically just a giant AI divination orb supercomputer that, it runs the algorithms like, hey, this is most likely the path that you're going to take in your life based on your current behaviors. And I love stuff like that. It brings in the whole argument of, like fate versus this. Does knowing your fate change your fate? I just love divination wizards, and I love role playing divination wizards, and the fact that Golden Ire, Golden, your guys' names are fantastic, by the way. As a divination wizard is great, and yeah, the spell choice, the giving disadvantage in an aura that's a net -5 per roll mathematically. I'm not a math person, but I know enough math to do stuff, spreadsheets, and that a lot of math does go into these encounters. So I don't know if I'm waxing poetic or taking too much of that time, but the assassins, we gave them a +8 to hit. We felt it was high enough to kill commoners within the crowd to really cause devastation, because at level 15, parties have access to raise dead. They can come back to life. So death isn't really a fear for them, but they can still have consequences for their action or inaction. So killing innocent NPCs is still, if they're a good aligned party, or if they care about other people, or they just, their motives aside, the villains causing damage to innocents still really sucks, and the party, can or cannot take action to prevent it. So we wanted to raise the stakes that way. And then with a +8 to hit, mathematically, a level 15 party, the ACs can be all over the place, but someone just naked in full plate is going to have an 18 AC. So giving them a 50% chance to hit the player seems fair, especially when there's 17 people shooting 2 attacks each. That's like 30 some shots. Worst case scenario, all 15 or 16 hit on average. The party's going to eat a lot of sneak attacks. But that when designing level 1 to 4, where we're just like, oh sweet, what's the Gordon Ramsay meme? It's like, oh sweet baby, like let me hold your hand through this.
A lot of it too is
let them die.
Level 15 higher, they absolutely have access to a lot more powerful spells, equipment. Some of the potions we're seeing, like the potion of heroism that gives like the effects of bless. We saw the invulnerability. They were prepared, the belt of dwarven kind, which is reducing that poison damage. Higher levels, they were absolutely going to be a little bit more prepared for this. And I think that is really good point you make, where a +8 is someone, average adventurer in the plate armor. That's about a 50% chance for hit or miss. Your paladins are probably going to have more. Your casters might have less. And with that holy aura, that disadvantage brings that like average 18 down to like an average 13, which just I think really kind of sets the table for what's going to happen next.
Fight. And now we're at the top of initiative, and before any of the bad guys or Apex can go, Ula, you are up. What are you going to do?
I will also reach for my hip flask and pull out a potion.
Okay.
And I will say to Justin, seems like it's tea time, brother. Drink a potion of invulnerability.
Okay. Yes, and you can do that. I do want to let you know, and I should have told you this before. This battle is there's something. I'm setting an artificial limit on it, where the battle is going to go for 3 rounds before something spectacular happens. And so, given that that you're going to have 3 rounds, I'll let you change that move if you want to, or you can keep it. You're drinking a potion, or do you want to like get out there and do something?
No, I wanna drink my potion.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I will also cast a spell.
You can't drink a potion and cast a spell.
Well, if it's a bonus action, I can.
Yes, you can.
So we'll do a spiritual weapon. Do I want to upcast it just a little bit? I have to upcast it level 4.
I say you can bonus action drink a potion at my table. So.
You said we have a time limit to actually gonna upcast it to level 4.
Okay. All right. So your spiritual weapon, I put it on the board there. You can
More action economy. I love spiritual weapon.
Okay, spiritual weapon has a range.
No concentration. It's great.
So I guess we can just put it. If they can see us and shoot, we can see them with spiritual weapon. Have it up here
I
on the
do
balcony.
need 20-foot move speed on spiritual weapon, though.
We will
Gotta be really careful where you place it.
against that guy.
Yes.
I take the much feared critical hit die, and it rolls a critical hit.
Nice. Of course it does. Yeah.
Yeah, and at 4th level, my spiritual weapon will do 2d8 plus 5, so that's 4d8 plus 5.
Are very hittable. 15 minutes.
Oh, pretty good. 25 force damage to that guy.
Volume.
Okay. He's damaged, but not yet bloodied. All right. So you've done your action, drink a potion, bonus action, cast spiritual weapon, and done some damage. Anything else?
I will get up from my seat, but otherwise, I don't think I will move. Actually, I can take a short step this way.
Okay. All right. So we'll.
And then my
Does
aura
standing
will
up
do
from your
forward.
chair count as coming up from prone? I wouldn't say so.
It's so hard, elusive
It's
aura.
typically hard.
I don't think so because you're
Okay.
on your feet very quickly.
Okay. Anything else?
That's everything from me.
All right. Hanasiri, your turn.
Yes, I think as my bonus action, I'm going to start with that. I will pull out a spell scroll and cast Spirit Shroud from the scroll.
You take out your scroll and cast. It's Spirit Shroud?
Yes.
And that gives you a advantage to damage in this case. And also because it's a bonus. Normally, it's a bonus action. You can read it as a bonus action as well, which is great. I didn't know that, so cool.
I believe so.
And
I've
you're gonna do
overlooked
something
Spirit
about it.
Shroud for so long.
Yes.
An extra D8 damage rider is phenomenal for a bonus action.
Can I attack that?
It's really good, and stops from regaining hit points.
Oh, you want to attack.
How have I not seen this?
This guy.
Oh, it's because
Yes.
You could.
Does he
You could
have...
also. You could also attack the party
it's an
member.
optional spell for Cleric, Paladin, Warlock, and Wizard.
I would prefer
Okay,
not
that's
to,
why I
actually.
haven't seen it.
Okay.
It's from
it would be
Tasha's, yeah.
It would be something of a twist, but I don't think I would like to do that.
I'm just attacking. Okay. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, you can go ahead. You can attack that guy with your glaive.
Yes. Do I then have advantage because of your aura?
Campaign.
No, it's just protective.
Okay. But I do have Bless.
Of course.
It's concentration too. That's why
That
concentration slot is
so I
so
think
hard
I'm gonna
to-
try to Great Weapon Master it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It really
missiles
is, yeah.
that you don't
There's so many
take.
good concentration spells.
So I'm going to use Great Weapon Master, taking a -5 to my attack, so that then I have a total of +7. But with Bless, I get an additional D4. So let's go.
Bless is concentration as well, isn't it?
Oh, 19 on the die.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
4 on the Bless.
But not from the
Not
potion of
bad.
heroism.
I
Got
get
it.
so excited. I need to.
I was like, wait, I don't remember anyone casting Bless, but the potion. No, that's fantastic. Like doing Great Weapon Master with Bless up is really mitigates the -5.
It really helps eat that cost.
And I do D8 from the glaive,
She's
D8
gonna
extra
obliterate this
radiant
guy.
damage because I'm just that cool, and a D8 from the spell, plus 7 plus 10. Let's see how well that goes.
Yeah.
I want to help the player here and say glaive is a D10 damage to just give them a little more damage.
29 damage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Do it again.
That's it. Also, a good hit, solid, but not bloodied.
Not
Take all
blooded?
that damage you can. Definitely.
Oh, man.
Take that D10.
Then I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 attacks per round at level 15 per paladin.
Okay. That's I might do it as plus 7, 9, 26 to hit.
That hits.
Yep, I'm gonna throw a smite on it this time too.
Yeah. Right.
Because, it's
Why
what we
wouldn't
do.
you smite? That's what
I'm
you're
assuming
supposed to be
18
doing.
strength.
Yeah, I know, right?
Smite.
And he's not blooded, so I think I'm gonna do a
Weapon Master
second level
plus
smite.
10.
Okay.
So that's an additional 3d8, right?
Should be big.
Yes.
30 damage plus. I don't know what the average is, but
Let's go. And great weapon master.
the average is 5.
Oh, that's some
18
low
strength.
damage dice though.
9,
Yeah,
19,
it's
20 something. It should be about 28 to 35-ish.
32 damage.
Okay.
there it is. And just
very
having
close. That's very close.
having those flat damages from Great Weapon Master, from your modifier, always great.
Strong guy.
It's so hard for me to build a character without Great Weapon Master or Sharpshooter these days because I want the plus 10.
Like you're saying, build a powerful character, do great roleplay, but those two are just huge feats.
To use the butt end of your glaive, but you use your bonus action otherwise. Okay. And so anything
Yes.
else?
Oh, and then Polar
I
Master.
believe that was me.
Okay. So it's now the turns of Apex, who is invisible to everybody but Yun's character. And so
If I may, about that, I can only see invisibles within 10 feet of me, so I can't see quite as far as he is right now.
all right. In which case, he's invisible to everybody. And it's gonna be...
Maybe he will get away, and then they have to follow up on this plot line. I have hopes for this gnome bad guy.
He is going to attack just in time. All right.
I love the names.
Yeah, the names
So
are amazing.
That's a 19. Is that I forget your armor class? Let's see.
Yes, 19 will hit me.
Okay.
But still no.
Don't you
sneak
still
attacks?
have Don't you still have the benefit from shield until your next turn, or is it just until the end of your turn?
No, I say until the end of my
yeah.
turn. So I used that prior to my previous turn. Yeah, no, the shield would have lasted until the turn where I drank my potion. So
Right, he drank this potion, so it should be off.
I don't believe there's anything about this.
That's true.
I forgot about that part.
Okay. Right. All right. So he gets a plus 13. Wow.
Big guy.
We did make the Gala host a Chad.
22 to hit, which I assume hits you. And he would have been able to take a sneak attack, but he can't because he has disadvantage.
Nice.
Nonetheless, you take
That holy aura.
10 points of piercing damage, and also you've got to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so the 10 is reduced to 5 because of my potion, and a Constitution saving throw. I'm
You are
still
within my
within
aura.
10 feet of summer, so I get a plus 4 to that. And was there advantage on saving throws, Ula, from the holy aura?
Yes.
Okay. Is it so?
And
That is a nat
holy
20
aura.
on the first dice. So
All right.
3 nat 20s.
Yeah, you successfully save.
Yeah, but again, that advantage.
Half the damage instead,
Yep.
which will be 30. That's also half because if you've got resistance, so we'll take it down to 6 poison
total
damage.
of 11. Total of 11 damage.
Pretty good.
Not too bad.
Yeah. And so after that, though, all the bad guys are honing in on you. So they're going to just start trying to bombard you all. So each of you is going to get 4 attacks,
and I'm just going to try to roll them as quick as I can here. Ula, the first one with disadvantage is a 23. The second one is an 18. The third one definitely misses you. And then the fourth one is a 20.
That's one hit.
Okay. And
21.
so, okay. And so that one does, again, the 7 points of piercing damage, and you have to make the Constitution saving throw.
7 points damage, half to 3, and saving throw with advantage.
Something that we designed that we didn't make very clear, and I'm seeing that now in the encounter.
Then it's
Yeah.
half so 13 points of poison damage.
We added the Gala host.
Halved again to 3.
He's we made him kind of like as a master rogue, where he can give advantage to a friend within 30 feet using the help action, and he can use the help action within 30 feet. So his kind of role is to help the assassins get advantage. And it's one small line here on the chat block, but in the combat behavior section, we should have put like, you can have the Gala host use his action to give advantage to his friends, as opposed to straight up just coming out and stabbing someone. So I'll remember that for the next one. To put like the little design things that we added in there as more prevalent.
My armor class is 20. No,
And that'll help keep invisibility, help sort of like keep the chaos going, and still be behind the scenes.
Exactly. Yeah. So making the intent more clear, because we have the behavior during the fight written in here in 3 paragraphs, but I don't see the part where we put that the Gala host will be more of a supporting role as opposed to coming out and stabbing.
To avoid the poison damage.
Right, and I get
Well, that's also DM's choice too. I'm sure Paul can comment on that later. That he wanted the Gala host to come out and start stabbing.
Yes, I'm blessed.
Because the intent, if the intent of the encounter is for the bad guy to get away, he'll probably take more of that role. But it seems like the intent is to go 3 rounds of craziness and see what happens.
To really put on the pressure. Yeah.
All right, so I took how much damage now?
Yeah, because if they fail that poison check, it's an average of 27 poison damage from the stab.
20
so.
total.
It can be debilitating.
Especially for 17 versus 4, it can start getting out of hand pretty quick.
Next up, sorry, go ahead.
You gotta roll my constant.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But they have a paladin.
No.
Yeah, I made a constant save. I made it.
Okay, great. Okay, so Yun, first one is a 10. Second attack is an 11. Third attack is a 15, and the fourth attack is a 9. Any of those hit?
Yeah.
No chance.
Those
Nice.
disadvantages
Okay.
really dropping that attack count.
And
Yeah, it is.
finally, for Vega,
Playing the game
there's
right there.
17 of these guys, so one of you has got to take 5 attacks. It's going to be you. 18, 26, 14, and a 10.
So that's 2 hits.
Okay. So then you'll take the 14 points of piercing damage, and you got to make 2 Constitution saving throws, DC 16, to avoid the poison damage.
Come on, Bard.
Sorry, the piercing damage is 2 instances of 7 damage, right?
Correct.
Okay, so each one of those is half to 3. So that's 6 total,
6.
and then it's Constitution saving
We have
throws.
resistance to piercing.
See, that is 21 for the first.
Okay.
Yeah, he drank the potion of vulnerability.
Yeah, that saves.
And
Especially
nat
against
20
the
for
kind
the
of
second.
Nice. Okay.
What
So
kind of damage are they
then
going to do? Probably
both of
piercing.
those are halved to 13,
Anything.
so another like 26, which are halves again because of your potion. So you take 13 poison damage.
Let's see, it's 2 instances of 13, right?
2 instances of 27 that is halved because you passed your
Yeah, to
Constitution
13.
saving throw. So that's
26 total, which is halved again because of your potion, right? So it's 13.
So each 13 will be rounded down to 6.
Yeah.
So 12.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's that. Those are the bad guys have attacked, and now it is Yun, your turn. What are you gonna do?
All right. Apex attacked Justin this turn. Is he still there?
Yeah. So he's there. You sense him around you, and let's see. Yeah, you can see him because he's right. He's within 10 feet of you. Yeah. So I'll reveal him up here on the map. There he is.
All right. He seems tricky. I don't want to lose track of him again. So I will use a 3rd level spell slot to cast Mind Spike.
Okay.
Divination wizard.
That's a
Mind Spike.
wisdom saving throw on his part, DC 20.
Okay.
So that puts like a little tracker on him too, I think.
Yeah. On a fail.
No, he fails. He rolled a
you
10.
know where they are.
He fails. So
Even if they're
he
visible.
first takes 3d8 psychic damage.
Okay.
That's 4, 6, and a 4, so 14.
Okay.
And I now know the target's location until the spell ends. That's concentration up to 1 hour. From that condition against me.
Okay.
Divination is the
Fantastic.
best school of magic.
And
All right. So you cast.
and it's the concentration, but at this point
Yes.
it might be worth it if you want to keep track of the big bad or the
And since I cast a 3rd level divination spell, I use my divination school feature to regain a 1st level spell slot.
Yo,
there's that
which is going to
cascading
go towards shield.
Right.
cascading pool of magic. Divination wizards are.
Is there anything fun I can use a bonus action for? Do we want any of these close guys closer or further away from us?
You should have
Closer. Yeah, bunch them together if you can.
All right. So the guy who Summer has been attacking. I want to use my telekinetic shove to pull him towards me, 5 feet towards me.
Okay.
That's a strength saving throw DC 18.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, fails. So moves right towards. He's bringing him right towards just in time, and he's looking like he wants to attack you, Justin.
Oh, not on my watch, yeah.
I love the telekinetic feat. That is he's using the feat, right, with the bonus action?
Yes. Be able to push or pull with his telekinetic. Yep.
I cannot see.
Such a good feat.
Right.
No, you can't. But you have you can attack him still, but it will be with disadvantage.
Sure. Let's see. He didn't have to roll a concentration check for his invisibility by chance.
No, he's as it turns out in the aftermath of the battle, you guys discovered that he's wearing a cloak of invisibility, so he's just invisible.
We've been referring to. You've been calling him Apex. Do we, the characters, know that that's his name?
Yeah. So let's see. Go ahead and make a either a history or arcana check.
Let's see. Oh, that's not my specialty exactly.
Okay.
But
he's a bard.
okay, let's go for a history check.
I was like, what kind of wizard doesn't have that? But it's not the wizard, it's the bard.
It's okay. Jack of all trades. Still
But
not
I rolled a
specialty,
19,
but still
so
doing
that's
good.
22.
Yeah. So
Oh no, I don't have that. Rolls a 22. Yeah, bards.
People the Institute of Human Betterment, led by Renard Sauerberry III, and one of his lieutenants is this guy Apex. And their betterment of humanity is to kill humans, and so he's like one of the trusted lieutenants. Sneaky guy, thievy type of guy.
I don't know if that was ad-libbed, but that's hilarious, genius. I love Paul as a DM.
I am going to look to the point where I was attacked from.
Yeah, it's great.
And just say, Apex, you foul scoundrel, time to show yourself. And as I say his name, I will cast Raluthin's Psychic Lance, which I can cast even against a creature I cannot see as long as I know its name.
Oh, great. Okay. Nice.
That's why he asked for the name.
So that will be an intelligence saving throw, DC 20.
Okay.
Still great for role play. Understand. I love how Paul made the roll to understand, like, if he meant his name. So.
Can you? Something happened there to my volume. Okay, I think I'm back. All right. So.
Fourth level spell.
He rolled it.
That's a lot of damage.
Excellent.
76.
In which case, he will take.
Fireball's 86, so it's a step below and a spell.
18 psychic damage.
Okay.
Yeah, and Fireball's AoE. This is single.
Let's see for how long? Until the start of my next turn.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Nice. Are you doing anything else?
Yes. Let's see. Have we all taken a touch of damage, or are we mostly doing okay?
I think everyone took at least a little damage.
Okay.
Not a bunch.
Not
Is
a
he gonna
bunch.
AoE
Okay,
heal?
then I maybe will hold off. I'm in a slightly precarious position, so I think I will.
I'm not sure, but he had just cast a spell, so an
this
AoE heal.
exact
I'm not sure what he would do as a bard.
So I will use my. No, I've already cast a leveled spell. I cannot use Misty Step.
As you said.
And I cannot cast Healing Word. Okay, in which case I will look to Nico Time and just say, keep it up, brother. We wouldn't want a repetition of that time in the Underdark, and I will throw you a Bardic Inspiration, which at this level is a D12.
Oh, of course not.
Oh, it's a D12. Wow. Oh, it's level 15,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
So that is outside of our mini non-combat round. This is the end of round one, and so just to briefly give a moment for the commentators to jump in.
All right. Very exciting first round. A lot has been happening. Just some real high-level statistics first. Right now, the damage dealt by our adventurers was 93 hit points worth of damage, and the assassins only got 58. And I think a big part of that was the disadvantage that was being caused by that Holy Aura spell. There were no losses of turns. The attack to hit ratio, party landed every single attack, all 5 that they made, so 100% for them. Whereas the assassins only hit about 23% of the time. So they out of the 17 assassins, only about 4 of them hit. Opponent fails and saves. The party casts 2 spells for saving throws, and the saving throws were failed both times. On the assassins, the poison damage, everything was saved. Again, huge help from that Holy Aura with advantage on saving throws. Having a paladin nearby doesn't hurt either. Okay, so with those stats sort of outlined, Josh, what were some of your thoughts, or were some of the highlights from round one that you were thinking?
Really fantastic spell and feat choices by the players. The telekinetic shove. I know it's like a half feat because it gives you +1 intelligence or +1 charisma. So, and I think it's a Tasha's spell or something, but I've overlooked it in the past. I haven't been playing casters for a while now. I'm in my fighter era where I'm rolling fighters nonstop. The circle will turn and I'll play wizards again. But I'm definitely gonna look at the telekinetic, because being able to shove people is really good. I'm addicted to movement shenanigans, and I play a lot of Warhammer. a lot of tournaments and stuff. So, the statistics on that matter to me, and movement shenanigans. So being able to move an enemy, being able to move a teammate is also a line in that spell. And you can move a teammate and they can choose to fail to save intentionally. So being able to move your friends, I think, is also fantastic. So,
I will say,
great plays.
forcing movement on a teammate also super helpful because it's forced movement with that telekinetic shove. You get them out of opportunity attack range and then set them up to be able to go where they need to go.
Exactly. And I do want to commend the DMing, because when the guy asked the name, and then just, roll a check for it. And then the Human Betterment, I don't know if that was ad-libbed or not, but, again, that was hilarious. I loved it. And it was so clean, the delivery, just not even a second thought. So, and then, the player the intent behind knowing the name was so he could cast that. And so, that was it something Lance? Rolithim's Psychic Lance.
Rolithim's Psychic Lance, yeah. And also, you're absolutely right. Again, Paul is fantastic at DMing, and especially when weaving in just sort of the role play with the battle mechanics. So when players are asking, just being able to know, give me a roll for history just to see if you would know this. I think it was great, and also keeping the battle flavored and engaging, just by instead of saying like, yeah, his name's Lance, by giving it more background and depth really adds to it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the failed save, the target, if they fail, they are also incapacitated, which is, you take out their entire action economy and you have, the boss guy just sitting there. I did want to mention that I did mess up a little bit. So, because on the stat block, the Gala host does have Tactical Planner as an ability, and they can use the help action as a bonus action, and they can do it within 30 feet away. So I misspoke earlier when I said help action, but it's as a bonus action. So when we designed it, it was kind of like as a mastermind rogue. So they can sit back, but we didn't want to write mastermind rogue, it's easier to just put it on the stat block. So, the Gala host can sit back and give the help action as a bonus action to his friends to give them advantage so that they get more sneak attacks, either on the players or on, the commoners that are within the Gala. Just kind of, as a support, to give them more as a support role to help out the friends. Obviously, that's overruled by the AoE disadvantage aura that is being given out. But even then, like, canceling each other out still gives them, they get to keep their roll instead of rolling twice, which is, a net -5.
Exactly. Or if that aura wasn't cast, what this would be really good for is being able to give that advantage to one of the assassins so they can hit a player that may not be surrounded and still get that sneak attack in, to really kind of boost that. And if I remember correctly, giving the help action would not break invisibility either, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I hope
so
not.
that would. So that means like Apex would still be able to stay invisible and sort of control things behind the scenes and not really be in the fray. But again, that holy aura, devastating when just dropped.
Yeah, and like I said, the two trains of thought when we were designing this encounter was the crowd is going to go a little crazy and try to exit and cause problems for the players, and then the players don't have to fight. They don't have to fight the assassins. Was when we first did that. When we were designing, we're like, what if they just ran? What if they open the doors for the commoners to get out, and we're more concerned about the escape as opposed to the fighting. But this is a fighting podcast, so the encounter is we're gonna brawl with these assassins. So we kind of did leave those options in there, because it is always, when we design stuff, it is always an option for the players to run. They don't have to fight everything. And if your party's like level 12 and attempting this, and they are getting lambasted by sneak attacks, maybe they do run, or they help the crowd get out, etc. So yeah, but the direction that this went is they're fighting. The Gala host is in there stabbing, and if he wants to stab, he wants to stab, and that's part of the encounter as well. You know, he's built to fight. He's got what, a plus 13 to hit or something. Yeah, he's got a plus 13 to hit, and
Plus
it's good
13.
that they succeeded the Constitution saving throw, because he does 86 poison damage on a failed saving throw with that stab, and he's got 2 stabs per round. No, he's got 3 stabs per round. So that can go south really quick for a party member where they're taking, you know, maybe 90 damage in one round.
Oh, trust me, the numbers can definitely get up there. And I think that's also another really great design that you had, where it was being able to have flexibility in how you want to play the character. Maybe, you know, in this case, because there's disadvantage, get in there so that there is more threat to the players, or hang back. And the same with the players. Totally agree that there are different ways they might want to navigate this scenario, which is perhaps they just cast seeming and blend into the crowd and leave that way.
I love seeming.
Just 2 more quick points, because I know we had our paladin just lay down a massive amount of damage. I believe Summertime did 61 damage on her turn with the improved Divine Smites. But one thing I wanted to check with was Spirit Shroud.
Yes.
Because you were mentioning Spirit Shroud while like during the commentators. I believe this is a Tasha's Cauldron of Everything spell, bonus action, very similar to like a Hunter's Mark, but more for paladins or clerics. Super good, being able to add that damage.
Yeah, any damage. Baldur's Gate 3 really taught me this, that adding damage riders to your attacks is king, and adding that extra D8 on top of, you know, the D8s that you're throwing on there as a paladin smiting, it really makes the weapons shine. So that was, you know, another fantastic play. The spirit weapon, it's, you know, it's just more action economy. So great plays all around. I did want to comment on the assassins, because we didn't want to make them too crazy powerful, because you know, there's 17 of them, and they're, you know, a level 15 party is very powerful. They are above average. So when we design things, you know, like the average person in full plate has a 50% chance of getting hit by this. But these adventurers are not average. They know, you know, they have Spirit Shroud, they have all these other great spells. And so for the goons, you know, their armor class is only 15, which is very hittable for players. You know, I think your average character at level 15 what's the proficiency at that level? Like +3 or 4?
It's gonna be +5.
+5. Okay, so even higher. I've been playing a lot of low level campaigns lately. So you know, they got +5, assuming 18 to 20 strength. If it's a strength build, that's another plus. So they're very hittable. And one thing we do want to avoid when designing, especially low level encounters, is putting the AC too high on things, because I think it's better to put like resistance on it instead of, you know, just a high AC, because it feels bad for a player, especially when you only have like 1 or 2 attacks per round, to wait, you know, for the other 4 players at the table to go, and then you finally get your turn and you swing and you miss. I think that just feels bad for the player. So having like a lower AC but like a higher HP or resistance, I think helps, because the player feels like they're doing something, even if you know, the guy is still alive and they technically still have their action economy, the player is still doing damage and still feeling good about the encounter. So that was kind of the reasoning behind the 15 AC.
I think that's an excellent like design tip, and one that I'm definitely going to be really like being aware of more when I build my encounters, because it sucks just to roll and miss and then like that's your turn. Even doing damage, even if it's a little damage, it still feels like you're doing something. So yeah, I definitely agree. Lower that AC, increase that HP, or give a resistance. Let your players, you know, play the fans they want to play. All right, let's head back to the battle and see what round 2 brings.
Fight. Okay, so we're back at the top of round 2, and you'll notice that the map has changed during the break. I should have done this during the middle of the round, because that's when the
party goers act on initiative 10, and so they're actually behind everybody. So this happened at the end of round 1. Everybody starts to scream and scramble for the doors. One of the guards moved away from where the party is to try and accommodate people rushing the doors, so everybody, let's see. Go ahead and make a. I'm going to say dexterity saving throw.
Oh, maybe I don't know what's going to happen.
Give advantage, guys.
All right.
Let's see. Am I within 10 feet of
So-
Summer? Yeah.
Yes, you are. You and Nick are both in my aura.
So it's a pretty low check. I'm just making it a 12 because you guys are adventurers.
I got
Anyone
22.
fail?
I have a 19.
Okay.
28.
Nice. All right. So none of you are knocked down by the rush of people trying to get to the doors. And one of the guards was carried away and kind of rushed with the crowd. But we're going to say that was it Hanasiri? We were close enough to get an opportunity attack on him. So yeah, go ahead and make that attack.
Yeah, I just go like, oh no, you don't. And I Great Weapon Master swing my glaive full force. And I
That's a
don't roll
neat
as good as
addition.
before.
The DC
Less
12.
is
That's not in the
good.
book,
So
so
that's
fantastic.
17 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Nice. I'm gonna smack a smite on that one as well because I don't like him. Let's go. The guys are pretty beefy. I'm gonna put a 3rd level smite on this one.
Nice.
We have a saying in my group:
That's-
spell slots are for the party, and then we use them to
So
smite.
my weapon, my spell, and then 4 additional d8s. I will roll them after.
Well, when you stop whatever is threatening the party with a smite,
Exactly. Just the best damage prevention. The best healing is prevention. So if they can't, if you kill something, you prevent them from doing like 50 damage to you. If you let them do the 50 damage and then you like bonus action healing word, it's like, okay,
That's
so you
49
heal
damage.
XP.
Woo.
Suck
Okay.
it, mister.
exactly. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy's
Just heal damage, unfortunately, is the is my new philosophy for definition.
defeated. So we're going to say the people who are bloodied. This guy.
Paladins do very well.
Let's call him Tommy. Tommy took a bunch of damage. The guy who you just hit, Hanasiri, is Biff, and Biff is down here. He took a lot of damage. And then there was one more guy. We'll call him Ricky. Ricky's over here, and he took damage as well. Plus Apex.
Also, I realized I said 4th level smite, but I actually clicked and thought and rolled 3rd level smite. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I rolled
I won't-
4.
Add
not
extra
D4.
to-
Yeah, I
Yes,
won't.
that's
I
what
won't hold it against you. And so we're gonna bring Apex over, and he is incapacitated.
I'm a stickler for the rules, but
So that's
if it helps the player, doesn't matter.
Of the crowds moving, and
This is also really great.
Opportunity
The
attack in
balance
there.
of rules
All right, so
and
top of the round,
just
top of the
flow of
round,
play.
2.
A lot of times, keep the game moving.
Good time is up.
Agreed,
What are you
yes.
gonna do?
Where is my spiritual weapon? Where has it gone?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Let's bring it back on board here. Okay, so we got the spiritual weapon back that I forgot it was up on the balcony, and it's going after. We're going to say Ricky is up on the balcony because he's the one who suffered the damage, and so spiritual weapon chased him into the corner. So you're going to attack him, right?
Yep, rolling again. Let's see. 19 to hit, I believe. Oh
Okay,
no,
yeah, that hits.
23.
That
I have
hits.
lost
Yeah.
better.
These guys aren't with classes, not that great.
For 18 force damage for him.
Okay. Wow. All right. So that he was damaged pretty seriously, and he is dead. Ricky.
All right.
You're gone.
Okay, there's too many enemies and too few of us and too many bystanders. So I'm
There we go.
slightly desperate
There it
here.
is.
I am going to cast
Of course, it's the cleric who says it.
Scorching Ray at
Ooh, there we
50
go.
level.
Whoa. All right.
Light
So I
cleric.
will get
Light cleric
5
still
rays.
has a lot of options for AoE.
All the fire
Okay.
spells.
Let's see. The guy that disappeared into the crowd that got damaged gets the first ray.
Okay. Yeah, this guy over here.
Getting an 18 to hit.
That hits.
And another getting a lot more than that. Should I just roll those and see if he goes down?
Oh yeah. So yeah, roll damage. Roll them in damage individually because he may go down.
Okay. First one, 10 fire. Second one, 9 fire.
Okay. So let's see. Still standing.
These assassins are beefy.
He gets
They do
it
have
for a dirty
a lot
20.
of HP.
But as we said, it's a high level
Yes, that's
encounter.
enough.
You need them to be beefy to
Okay,
survive the first round or
let's
two. Yeah.
see. Is it better if I just free up this one right next to us? He gets the last 2.
Okay.
Getting a 22 and a 23.
This guy here.
Yep.
Yeah. So those both hit.
10 fire. And a maximum of 12 fire on my last.
Okay. So another 22. All right. So he's
Yes.
still standing. Okay. All right. So you've got.
But I will step on up next to him and getting his face.
Okay. Anything else for your turn?
That's it for me.
All right. Next up,
The
Hanasiri.
crossbow guys in melee.
You can. So by the way,
Right.
we can hear
Exactly,
outside.
yeah.
There's a ruckus. You can hear hooves clattering, and there's battle sounds coming from outside as your Pegasus tries to fight its way in. So I just wanted to keep that update rolling. Sorry. What are you going to do?
Nice. So this guy is standing right next to us. He's looking kind of battered, right?
Yes, definitely bloodied.
Spell slots are for the party. Do it. Do it.
Right, we do gotta take care of him. So I'm gonna send an attack his way.
Okay.
There it is. Yeah.
Hmm.
Great weapon master smite damage.
Well, Summer's also concentrating on that spirit shroud. So any
ooh.
other concentration spells you can't really do much more than what you can already do with that great weapon master attack.
That's just 15 to it.
That's exactly what you need. They got a 15
Nice.
armor class, so yes, that's it.
Okay,
That's
bless
weird.
coming through.
Yup.
He
That extra
is
D4 is huge.
quite injured, but I do realize I went
Always.
a little bit too soft in not smiting, so I'm going to put a first level smite on him just to hope that I actually do manage to finish him off.
Okay.
No, do the highest level. Don't risk
I do
it.
hope I can manage to finish him off.
I play too much Warhammer. If there's a chance it lives with one, full send. It's better to guarantee the death than to guess. I also just want to see the max level smite as well.
That's 41 damage.
Whoa. Yes.
I think I did that right. Yeah.
Level 1 smite. I like
Nice. That
tracks.
is definitely enough, and he goes down. All right.
Excellent.
So you guys have taken down.
It's the smite, the shroud,
3 of the cloaked
great weapon,
figures.
master damage.
Anything else with
stack,
your turn?
stack.
Yes, I would
again.
like to try to approach to get to one of the other ones of them. See how far the distance are. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So Apex is close to you, and he's incapacitated.
But I can't see him.
Right. Yeah. You can't.
Oh, but can't see Apex. That's
Do we have a kind of an idea of where he is? Given the
Yeah,
spells that
you
have
would.
hit him?
I would say that you would like because he's actually about to say something, so he's making some noise. So you could like conceivably attack him with disadvantage, or do something else.
Do you get an advantage against an incapacitated creature?
No.
No, it just
No.
prevents him from
Okay.
taking
You're
actions or
not.
reactions.
Yeah.
Okay. I had the same question, so
Right. But I know where it is.
Yeah, you
I guess
know
probably do.
close enough where he is. So yeah, you could
Prone,
attack him with
yes.
disadvantage.
Unconscious, absolutely.
All right. Then I think I'm gonna do that. He's a
Grappled,
little dangerous.
restrained.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna not Great Weapon Master because I can't do that.
Smart.
Right.
Doesn't want to take the
Disadvantage,
-5.
so I'm just gonna
Not when everyone with
try it.
disadvantage.
Yeah. That's why I like Vengeance Paladin, because you can vow of enmity for the advantage and then give yourself advantage. Or you have teammates who are just constantly
That's not
giving you
in
advantage. So
Apex, unfortunately.
Yep.
All right,
Oh,
bonus action.
that's a miss. Yep.
I'll do it again.
Nice.
bonus action. Smite. Yeah, with all the damage riders, it doesn't matter that the butt end
That's a
of the
little
glaive is a
better.
D4 when you're adding 500 dice at the end of it.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
And the bonus
25
action is
hit.
from
That
taking
does
out
hit,
the
yeah.
other assassin. So you get your when you
Okay.
bring a creature to 0 HP.
Oh, so it's just insane. Never mind. I thought it was
Or-
a bonus action to go to the glaive.
Or Polar Master.
Nope.
You know,
Yup.
take your choice.
Yeah.
Not Great Weapon Mastering.
Definitely the extra
so
attack
it'll be
for the D8 or the D10.
Ugh, I can't roll damage.
Oh no, is she rolling a bunch of 1s and 2s?
Do better. So mid. 25.
Remember that was with a third level
Yeah,
smite.
so it's a solid hit, but he's not down.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Anything else?
Rolling that many dice and getting that many 1s and 2s.
Nah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Does Savage Attacker apply to like
he's
fight?
Apex is
rolls and
incapacitated,
whatnot?
but
It does not.
he's
Only with weapon attack.
He's angry. He goes,
Darn.
you guys think you're something? Well, you're nothing. He goes, you better put down your weapons now, or I am gonna have my crew execute every last one of these poor bastards, and it's all gonna be on your head. Put down your weapons now.
Awesome. I like
So
that.
that
threat.
is his warning to you, the party, that he's going to make sure that everybody dies in here.
No, I have the impression that you are planning to kill everyone anyhow, so why don't we just take you with us?
Okay.
Good
So
response.
he can't act, but the other remaining cloaked figures can, and so they just they start acting on Apex's instructions, and they start attacking people. So everybody who's down on the ground attacks, and just they hit these civilians and start killing them indiscriminately. So you see people just start dying left and right.
Those fortunate enough to be in my aura will have disadvantage on hits against them.
Yeah, they're civilians, so they get hit anyway. Their armor class is so bad, and okay, so you watch in horror as the ruthless Institute for Human Betterment carries out Apex's wish, and
That name gets me every time.
um,
No,
the guys on the top, though, however, still aim their crossbows at the party, and so there's 8 of them up top, so everyone's going to take 2 hits each, or 2 attempts. The first one a disadvantage.
I guess it's 7 now.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's right. Yeah. So that one guy, Ricky, who you killed, isn't going to be able to attack you, Ula, and so you get first. It's a 17. Does that hit you? I forget.
No.
Okay.
No, I 21.
All right. So then there's the ones on Hanasiri. We got a 20 and a 9, which I think both miss you.
20 is my AC actually, but I'm gonna use my reaction to do what Vegard did earlier in the combat and activate one of my spell spell wrought tattoos and cast shield.
Shield goes up, and the bolt is deflected.
Yeah,
So Yon,
so great.
you the hits against you are 19 and a 15.
All right, that's one hit.
Okay. So it's 7 piercing damage in the Constitution save for the poison damage.
All right. That is 21 on the save.
That saves. So then it's 7 and 13, so 20 damage. But do you have? I'm forgetting now. What? Do you have any resistance
to poison?
Oh, resistance to poison. Okay, so you take the 7 piercing, and then 6.
There should also be
damage.
there should also be a concentration check for the mind spike.
And then the hits against Vigard, your character, are a 20 and an 11.
I will cast silvery barbs against the 20.
Hey,
Oh, did I mention that silvery barbs is banned? No, I didn't. So yeah, you can. No, you can use it. Okay.
That would be fair to say, but
I should have said it.
My DMs allow silvery barbs, but they say anything the players can do, the DM can do. So if we want silvery barbs used against us,
I just don't stack it, and I'll tell you more. You talk more about that.
Gets
at the end of the round.
Modified 13, which I think doesn't hit you. Correct?
That
no,
hit me.
It does not.
Damn you, silvery barbs! That's what he says. I've heard about you, and you're super annoying.
An advantage to summer.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
All right. So,
handing advantage to
anything else
this
for your turn, just in time.
Yep.
That was the action to the attack that hit me. So.
Okay.
And I forget to roll concentration too sometimes. Oh, I remember later. I was like, oh wait, let me roll that. And then.
Yep. As a player and a DM, it's one of the things I forget most often.
To see if I maintain concentration on Mind Spike.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah.
There it is. All right.
And I do with a natural 20.
Nice.
All right. Seeing this happen, I look down on Apex, so he realizes that I can see him.
Okay.
And I tell him to gaze upon my crown and despair, and I cast Crown of Stars.
Amazing.
All right, tell me about Crown of Stars.
Crown of Stars is pretty fun. Let's see if I find it here. 7 star-like motes of light appear and orbit your head until the spell ends. I can use a bonus action to send one of them, streaking toward one creature or object within 120 feet. It's a ranged spell attack, and it does 4d12 radiant damage.
Oh, wow.
It also sheds bright light in the 30-foot radius as long as I have 4 or more remaining.
Okay.
And it is surprisingly not a concentration spell.
Nice.
That is probably the best part of that
7
spell.
ranged
Concentration,
radiant
bonus action attacks.
Things. So I cast it with my action, and
so much
I
today.
will toss one of the motes at him with the bonus action.
Okay.
I usually take a full support roll, so I'm doing like crowd control with my concentration and whatnot.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's a plus 12
40,
to hit on this guy.
40-12 is
good.
hefty.
Wow.
And it's a bonus action to throw the stars. So you just put up the stars and you bonus action hit people.
Finally,
And you basically use your action for other spells. I like that. Level 7 was pretty high skill of a spell.
Yeah, you're sneaky. You
All
better no. He's got the
So
blue on the camera. Oh, it's not going to matter.
Well, you got to make things happen within 3 rounds. You gotta
see if I can find some
spend every.
here. Now remind me, I've only been playing.
Yep, you use all the spell slots.
Is it throw the dice twice or double the amount on the roll?
So this is about the crit damage.
Ula and I were talking about the Perkins crit on the top 5s, I think. Let's go ahead and do a Perkins crit. So then you take max damage for your initial max damage for whatever dice you would roll regularly, and then you roll them again and add that on. Is that right, Ula?
I like that rule.
All right.
It's
So
a great
4
rule to kind of
times
flatten
12,
that curve
24,
and making sure that you
48,
get really good damage
and
for
then
a crit.
add 4d12 on
like that
top of
rule.
that.
Yeah.
I'm going to
That's
ask
gonna
my
be a big
DM, say, hey guys, let's try this Perkins kit.
That 9, 9, 18,
You were talking about rolling ones earlier,
3,
and
21,
the worst
7,
is when you just roll
28.
the ones on a crit.
So 48 plus 28, 60, 76, am I correct in
Yeah.
that
That's right.
calculation?
Remember,
All
that's
right,
like
so radiant
8,
damage.
essentially
He is hit
8d12.
straight on the forehead with a mote from my crown.
Wow. And so this is like a crushing blow, and he just like staggers back, and you can tell that he is almost dead, but is hanging on by just a bit. But he, he's shocked, doesn't know what to make of this, cannot believe that it's got to be to this point. Okay, anything else you're gonna do?
No, that's action and bonus action.
Okay. All right. Vegard. It's your turn.
I can still not see Apex. And I don't have any very good area options that will help me with these assassins in the crowd. So I think I'm going to try to clear Apex. So we are going to do a repeat of last turn. And I think we are going to try to I will hit him with another psychic lance. But as a bonus action, I will use the College of Eloquence feature, Unsettling Words, where I use one of my bardic inspirations and gives him. Oh no, sorry, I need to see him. My bad. So it's just going to be an intelligence saving throw, DC 20.
Yep. I think Vegard just realized he couldn't do the unsettling words
Let's see.
because Apex is
See
invisible.
who's got any advantages here? Intelligence, you say?
I like it when players correct themselves when they realize that they're trying to use
die has a +3, so he just meets it.
Everyone's playing the game, and it's always good to just be up above table and all that.
Hope that this is enough. Still, halved, that will be 13 psychic damage.
Let's see. 13. Yes. Okay, so what does it look like? You managed to get him.
I know where he is. But I just I turn away from where the square, the area I know he's in. Do a little hair toss, and just say, "I have no more time for you. Time to die, Apex." And the lance strikes through his head.
So he just there's like a gurgle, and his limbs fall to the ground, and this little diminutive evil guy is gone. That is like would be what you would see if you could see him, but you just hear this like pop and a kind of a bloody thud.
Imagine dying to a bard flicking their hair at you and saying, "I have no more time for you," and you just die. I love bards.
I will jump onto the table. That feels like where I want to be. And turn around to Summer.
Bardic.
And say, "Don't waste your time, or time will waste you," and give her a D12 of bardic inspiration as a bonus action.
Nice.
Love it.
Okay. So that brings us to the end of round 2, and we'll just take a brief pause for the commentators.
All right. End of round two. Also, very exciting things were going on. There's a lot of movement. This encounter is huge because it is not just the players versus the enemies in some sort of just vacuum space. This is a gala. There are NPCs, and I remember when we just started at the top of the round, Ula, who was playing Nick of Time or Nick of Time, uh, was going through all the spells that they might be able to cast, and was saying not being able to cast some of them because of the area of effect. Uh, I saw you just like kind of brighten up and be like, yes, this is. I'm guessing that's what you were going for. Can you talk more about that piece of it?
Yep. Yeah. So, it's no, the DM explained it perfectly with, I'm going to take everyone down with me. At that level, there's more at stake than just the party's lives. It's other people as well. And, you can't just swing your axe at everything. Sometimes you have to adapt and, try to save the people that are there with you, etc. So that's fantastic. And there is a lot going on with this encounter. It is high level, and props to the DM, combining all of the folks on the balcony into one attack, or into one, cohesive action instead of doing them all individually, saves a lot of time, and is I think that's a DM tip that all DMs should be aware of. And I think that comes with experience, which the DM obviously has. So
Yeah,
I'm kind of. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, going with that, with the experience and sort of just running things as they go along. You had mentioned that that dexterity check for the stampede of folks wasn't wasn't in the encounter, but it's something that you really liked. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah. So my favorite thing, because I don't know if you know the TikToker, Miss Kurtwise, huge following. I had them do, or they did a playthrough of the first module that I wrote, Midnight Mayhem, and it's seeing the things that DMs add or add flavor to is my favorite thing, because it's either, oh, I didn't even think of that, but that's a genius addition to it, or yes, that was they're going along the same thought patterns. Is always really fun to see when other DMs, and that's the whole purpose of the stuff we write. It is we have the foundation, we have the sandbox, and we love seeing what DMs do. You are free to still steal everything and use it, reflavor it. It doesn't have to be a gala. It can be like a town meeting. It doesn't have to be. This could be underwater. Like the foundation is there, and the DMs can reflavor it, and it's D&D. That's the fantastic thing about D&D is it's completely moddable. So just seeing like the little changes that are made always make me really excited. So adding, the DC 12 dexterity check, because the crowd is freaking out and they're moving. We added that, like, the crowd is difficult terrain or something. I have the book in front of me, but I didn't read it. Just trying to weave through a panicked crowd is difficult, and having the DC check on there is a fantastic addition, and I'm very excited to see that, and then the addition to, after 3 rounds something big is going to happen. I love seeing that, because it's like building Legos, like, here's the Lego set. We're the guys, when we read the book, we're like, here's the box of Legos, here's some instructions. But then seeing what talented DMs do with that box of Legos, the additions, adding their box of Legos to this box of Legos and coming up with something, it's a lot of fun to see.
That's an amazing. Yeah. Oh, I was saying, that's an amazing analogy. I love it, and just the I think you're right, where it's you have this setting, and then you just want to see how people play with it and experience it. One thing that you did mention was about the beefy assassins. There's a lot of them, yes, and they have a lot of hit points. Can you talk more about that?
So on one hand, I want to say, oh yeah, this is intentional that they are that beefy, because they do have a relatively low armor class. Are they a little too beefy? Because when we design, we think of like 4 to 7 party members in an adventure. This one is a smaller party, I would say, of 4 people. Right. So it's hard, because you don't know the party, and we do put that line in there in all of our books, like, your party better than we do. If you need to lower the HP, lower the HP. If you need to raise the HP, raise the HP. So I think, because each assassin has 78 HP, and we did the math like, okay, an average level 4 party is either going to hit them with a hard crowd control like banishment or, hideous laughter is only one target, but I'm blanking on like the AoE crowd controls.
Mass suggestion is a huge one.
Mass suggestion. Yeah. But we also wanted to make it hard, like there's a bunch of assassins in a crowded area shooting either the party or people. So, how do you solve this problem? Obviously just do more damage is one of the solutions, but crowd control, getting people out, there's multiple solutions to it. So, slapping that, we did the math on the HP of it and we're like, okay, I think this is a good middle ground between, like really, really high damage parties or parties that are more, my first 5th edition campaign, we were all level 15. But we didn't know the game very well because we were coming off of like 3rd edition and, we suddenly were level 15 characters. So our characters weren't crazy optimized for damage. We were optimized for like crowd control and stuff. So we didn't want to, when designing this, we had those parties in mind. It's like, okay, so if a newer party is hopping in to a level 15 encounter, what would be a good HP to put that at? Because you need it high for the good parties. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry,
you need a high beat for the parties that have built really good characters. But you don't want those like assassins just getting popped off one by one and then there's no threat. I also, something that you were mentioning with crowd control and alternative solutions, I find a lot that probably more often than I had in the past, a lot of my players or a lot of people I played with are also looking for non-confrontational, non-combat resolutions as well. And this is something that you mentioned earlier. So yeah, having that high HP can help in a lot of ways, even for those like non-combat or non-confrontational ways as well, because you want those enemies to be able to absorb whatever's thrown at them. I had a question about the silvery barbs. I know this can be pretty controversial.
It's very controversial. I don't think so. On one hand, I don't think you should ban things. However, if it is egregious, because I play a lot of competitive games, right? And a lot of times it's like, if something is too good, most of the time it's just the player's incompetence and they don't know how to counter the thing that they think is too good. However, if it's egregious at the top level where, there's a decision tree and you can't answer that decision tree and the character or whatever, or the ability is just too powerful, then it's egregious and then you have to take it out. With tabletop games, it's very difficult to do. So the rule at our table is that we allow silvery barbs. We allow everything. Okay, but my DMs are very smart. I don't DM for my table that I play with. My DMs are very smart, and they say anything the players can do, I can do. Which, if I'm asking like, hey, my DMs are Ben and Alex. They're fantastic DMs. I love them to death. I'm just like, hey, can I do this combination? And, he'll look at it and say, yeah, but so can my NPCs. And then I was like,
Yes.
Do I really want to try this? Because, a lot of players, they see something on Reddit and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this Warlock Paladin build, blah, blah. And it's like, that's fine. If there's a good role play for a reason for it, that's fine. If you want to power build it, there's different kinds of players who play the game for different reasons. If something is busted, like silvery barbs, quote unquote, I personally don't think it's that busted because it costs a level 1 spell slot, which is a resource. It costs a reaction. And, I play a lot of competitive Warhammer. I play a lot of competitive games. If there's a wizard abusing silvery barbs, I'm going to bait that silvery barbs from a DM standpoint, because that costs a reaction to do. If
Shuts down
I'm going to
counterspells.
bait, exactly. There's no counterspell after they do that. So I'm going to be like, I'm going to roll, I rolled a crit. And then the smart thing to do for the player is to silvery barbs a crit because you don't want your friends taking that much damage. You silvery barbs it. Okay, that person does not have the reaction anymore. Hey guys, here's a max level chain lightning, or here's a disintegrate. It's
exactly.
It's
not
still a resource. It's a level 1 spell slot and it's a reaction. So I don't think silvery barbs is too insane because there's a resource cost associated with it, and smart DMs will play around those resource costs. Or you throw in, hey, I'm going to silvery barbs you.
One or that, yeah, and which is I think okay. Right, which I think is great, and I think that's really good. That's really good something for DMs to say like, "Hey, I can do it too. This is we're all players here. We're all having fun." I will say one thing for silvery barbs. I just don't allow silvery barbs stacking. That means that whenever a player, like if there's more than one player that has silvery barbs and the enemy gets it done once, you can't just stack silvery barbs. So they have to keep re-rolling that success because that can get pretty outrageous. Okay, well, I think we have. I know. Paul said that there was a 3 round sort of ultimatum happening. So let's head back to round 3. Oh, before we go, I did forget the statistics. Let me say them real quick. Um, on that round 2, the party did 202 points of damage. The assassins did 13, but they were also taking out NPCs of the gala. They made sure that Apex lost their turn. The attack to hit party ratio was that the party made 5 of their 6 attacks, and the assassins only made 1 of their attacks. So yeah, party is hitting strong and hitting hard, like hitting often and hitting hard. All right, but let's head back to round 3.
Fight. And we're back. All right. So I guess before officially the end of round 2 is the party goers have their turn, and there's like there's just it's chaos. With the events of last round and them being just murdered indiscriminately by the cloaked figures, part of the Institute for Human Development. They're in panic. But you can see also. Everybody, go ahead and make a insight check.
And I strongly agree with your interpretation of silvery barbs. I like that.
Well, there's no. So you can see taking the pulse of the room on top of the chaos. You see that the IHB members who have been like slaughtering people, they're shaken. They're visibly shaken by the fact that they heard Apex cry out and then thud, and Apex is a loud, nosy guy, and he's gone. He's clearly gone, and so that's affected them.
I love morale rolls, figuring out how enemies will react to the situation. This is great.
Fantastic.
All right, that brings us to your turn, Ula. You can also hear there's this continuing commotion outside one of the doors on the left. There's mixed noises of hooves, perhaps a horn scraping against the door, and some sort of battle rages on out there.
I'm invested. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm invested.
First and foremost, my hammer will fly down to this guy, try to whack him in the head.
Nice.
Getting a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that guy's name is Waldo, and he takes it right
Waldo.
on the head.
Waldo gets whopped for 22 force damage.
Nice. Okay, he takes it.
Then I will look around and I will walk over here and
That
say,
spiritual weapon.
This party
Bonus action
too
attack.
crowded.
So
Time
good.
for some of you to leave. And I will cast Banishment on 7th level, and I will banish both the guys on the leftmost door.
Okay. Nice.
The guy by the southern
is.
door. And I believe I get 4 targets, and the guy by the eastern door. So all they have to do is do a saving throw.
Okay.
Did I already use my 7th level spell, or did I check it off now?
No save, just portent it.
I shouldn't have used my 7th level spell. Yeah, they will have to do a charisma saving throw, DC 20, or be banished.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to roll individually a DC 20. So the first one rolls a modified 19, so fails. The second one, a 14, fails. The third one succeeds, rolls a 19 plus modified 21, and the fourth one fails. So 3 of them go.
That's huge. Taking out 3 people in one go.
Two by the
Yep.
door on the left, Fred and
With that
Bonnie.
DC 20, there's a 15% chance, an 18, 19, or 20,
here, Bam
that they would have passed.
He saves, and this guy here by the door, also gone. Nice for 1 minute.
Okay. For 1 minute. Or they
10
could try to break
rounds.
my concentration.
Right.
Yes, that is true.
But that will break the Holy Aura. So we are no
And
longer
that's where it
detected.
is.
Yep.
Ah,
Okay.
Holy
darn
Aura
it.
is down.
Yeah.
All
I need
right.
a change of gears.
So it's a good shift in the strategy, taking out a lot of enemies
That's it from me.
later on. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And I
Hanasiri,
do like
it is your turn.
5th edition concentration
It
mechanic.
is my
'Cause in 3rd
turn. There are
edition,
2 guys over there. I don't like
Yes.
that. If I'm 15,
you'd be lit up like a Christmas tree with every buff known to man.
I think I can just make it
Yep.
to here,
It really helps balance things out.
which
Okay.
is plenty to hit both of them. So, but they are pretty beefy, so there's no guarantee I'll be able to deal with as much as even one.
And she has advantage
Even though
and
I think that's good
inspiration.
damage, right?
Here we go.
Correct.
The big
Yes.
damage.
There is nothing to do but start. I'm gonna Great Weapon Master try to hit the first guy.
You will have advantage on the first attack roll from Silvery Barbs.
There
Oh,
it is.
nice.
Silver Barbs.
And you
So
have,
good.
you have Bardic Inspiration to apply, I think, right, at some point.
Yep.
If you need
Yes,
I'll remember.
and you are an Eloquence Bard, right? So if we use it, we don't lose it? Or like you get it
If
back
you-
or something?
If you still fail after
Yeah.
using the inspiration, you get to keep it.
Okay.
Nice.
22 to hit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to slap on a 2nd level smite.
Yes.
And let's go. See, now we are rolling proper damage. That's what we like. Ah, I jinxed it.
No. Use the inspiration.
I can't handle the stats.
Yeah, I know, right?
Can't handle it either.
And then I love adding the 10 at the end, so that's 46 damage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's bloodied.
He's bloodied. Okay, I'll do it again.
Nice.
Same dance as before. We go Great Weapon Master. Yes. 26 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
31 on the
I'm
dice
going
roll.
to
Wow.
End him. 2nd level smite.
Nice.
Yeah, well, when you start hitting high at level 15. Magic
It's a level
weapons,
15, yeah. I'm like, wow.
Proficiency bonus.
Yup.
Yeah.
49.
Whoa. Wow. So in 2 swings, you've done 95 points of damage, and yeah, what does it look
wrecked,
like?
buddy.
I mean, that's crazy.
Sounds about right for a paladin.
So Summer charges forward, her heart overflowing with rage at the sight of the dead civilians. She charges, brandishing her magical glaive, and slices it with great force up, decapitating the enemy. And at the end of that, she twists it around, and I'm going to use my bonus action attack to hit the final guy. Hopefully. Do I have to add the bardic inspiration before I attack, or can I roll?
I
Do
hope
you have
it's
to
not.
roll it?
After you've rolled, but I think before you know the result.
After you roll,
correct me
before
if
you
I'm
know the
wrong,
result.
Yeah.
That is how it is.
Let's see. So
I
we're
believe-
back, and we were talking about bardic inspiration. You can know what the roll is, but before knowing if it's a success or not, then you decide if you're going to add it. And so what was your roll? It was 14, you say?
Yes, which I don't think is enough even. So I'm going to add the bardic inspiration and add a 7 to it.
Yeah, right. So
It's 21.
that's a hit. They are
Just
armor
need the
class
one.
is, 15, so it was good use.
But
of
again,
it.
bardic inspiration.
Thank you, Vegard.
No problem. And because you are still within 60 feet of me and you succeed on an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw that adds my bardic inspiration die, I will use my reaction to give a bardic inspiration die to a different creature that I can hear within 60 feet other than myself without expending one of my bardic inspirations. So this is the infectious inspiration ability of the Eloquence Bard. So I will give that to Golden Hour. So that is a D12 of inspiration for you, Jon.
Nice.
I had a player one time say that
So in that
the
flurry of
support class doesn't do anything. It's like
I forget.
the support class is making the damage shine.
Third attack.
Support class is making everything happen.
Honestly,
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So
Exactly.
I gotta remember.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I gotta remember smaller damage die.
Yeah.
Unless you kill a creature,
Oh yeah,
then you
that's
pick up a master roll trigger.
Yep.
Right.
That's what you corrected me on earlier.
That's how we do it.
Nice
Because I
point.
forgot.
Thank you, Ola.
That's so easy to forget.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of running a little bit low on my big spell slot, so I'm just gonna first level smite them.
Okay.
I want to see this paladin hasted.
That would be so. Oh, that'd be brutal.
That's still 38 damage.
Adding AC, speed, another hit.
This guy is severely injured. The next one, and so for you did a total. Wait, you say 36 damage.
I believe so. 38.
38. Okay, wow. So your 3 attack total of 133 damage. These guys are pretty tough for
And it was out any crits too.
It seems, but that's an impressive amount of damage.
Solid paladin.
All right. Anything else? You've attacked.
Action, bonus action, and move. This is I'm done for now.
All right. So we are now up to Golden Hour. What are you gonna do?
All right. So one of the two enemies by Summer was felled, right? Or are both still standing?
No. So one of them died, and I think did I take him off the board? No, I didn't. Okay. And then so the other guy is damaged. He's not yet bloodied, but he received 38 points of damage. So
yeah. And just point of clarification: did Sourberry disappear somewhere, or is he the green token?
So yeah, he was an illusion, and so he's gone. The illusion has ended, but he was never here. He's he's too high level and valuable asset to the IHB to actually put him in the party with you guys.
Fair enough. All right. So the enemy that has been damaged but not slain by Summer, I'm going to toss a firebolt at him.
Another good roll.
Let's see. So that's a 29 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
So that will be 3d10 fire
And
damage.
another good roll. Don't ever put
That's
someone on the
10,
board that you
10,
don't want to
and
lose.
8. 28 fire damage.
Exactly.
Wow.
No, that's
Okay. He's still
I
barely
see
standing,
now.
but standing. Yeah.
And as a bonus action, I send one of my motes of light against him.
Okay.
That's a 24 to hit.
Hits.
10,
throw those motes.
20 plus 12. 32 radiant damage.
Yeah, that's enough to kill him. And so just this radiant light, it's like the melting Indiana Jones, skin coming off of his face, and he goes goes to the ground. Wow! So you've eliminated another one. Anything else for your check?
No, that's me.
Okay.
All right. I'm adding Crown of Stars to my next wizard.
I'd skipped their turn, and so I'm gonna before we let Vegard go, I'm gonna have these guys. I'm gonna have them actually make a check to see if they give up, because like you guys are like destroying them. So
Again, morale checks I think are
let me. It's gonna be a wisdom
such a good
saving throw.
flavor and makes sense.
I'm gonna set it pretty high. Okay. Let me just go ahead and make the roll.
I think the motivations behind enemies
They're going to continue.
is massive, and the motivation for the
Okay.
morale check is a big part of that.
How many left? 1, 2,
Absolutely.
3, 4, 5, 6. I think just.
The guy next to me died, right?
Yeah, one of them died. There was 2 there, and one of them got. Oh no, they're both dead. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so there's only one more on the floor, and the guy's up top. And they've got crossbows. They're going to fire at. Let's see. So 2 against Ula. Oh, so your radiant thing is down, right? So they no longer.
It's down.
Okay. So
yeah.
They get a 19, a 12, a 20, and a 22.
22 will hit me.
Okay, so that's you got to make the Constitution save for the poison damage.
I always have to triple check if I'm mixing the 2 games up.
Yeah, that saves. So,
It's
so
hard.
you take the 7 piercing and half of the
Yeah,
27, 13.
They get so much right, and they do so much to
poison.
the book.
So, total of 20.
And there's a couple differences.
Yes, I still can't fail those concentration saves.
Okay, and then there's 3 more, and so they're gonna attack Hanasiri. One gets a 26, and the other one that's gonna miss, and then the final one is a 20.
Yeah.
Bring
I
a
was
shield.
considering tossing off my second shield, but I can't even get.
Off the 20.
That'll only avoid one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Gotta
you
get hit
take both hits.
sometimes.
Yeah, I am.
Gotta get hit sometimes.
So it's a 14 total of piercing damage, and then you got to make the 2 individual Constitution saves.
What? How much piercing damage?
7 each bolt, so total
Okay.
of 14.
And then the poison, so 2 con saves.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at math.
Me too.
22 on the first one.
Yeah. That saves.
And 19 on the second.
Yeah, so 2 saves. So you take half damage each for each one. So that's another 13 for each. So it's total of 40 damage, right? You get the.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
And
that
2
holy aura.
concentration
Now
saves
that's down.
DC 10.
Yeah. Taking out 4 people
And I
versus
made both of them.
giving disadvantage to everything.
So that's their turn. So you can hear continuing like sounds of like things banging against the door. There's more voices now, and so the door to the left looks like it's almost broken through. Vegard, what are you gonna do?
Okay, I have a feeling that their morale is kind of waning a bit here. But they're hanging in there.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible for me at all to make some kind of an intimidation check to get them to stand down?
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? How are you gonna say it?
So I think I've jumped up on this table. And I think I will look out at the remaining mooks, and I will say, members of the Human Betterment Society, your leader is slain, your comrades have fallen. What betterment is there in this useless fighting for you? Stand down, and you may yet live to see the next dawn.
Okay.
That was really
go ahead
great.
and make.
Piece
I'm
of
going to do
roleplay,
it like
yeah.
as an opposed check. Intimidation. Your intimidation roll versus their a wisdom roll for them. Go ahead. What do you got?
All right. Let's see here.
Depending on how good the roleplay is, sometimes I don't even do a roll. Just like, yeah, they're convinced. Far lower by like 5 or 10.
Yep, I like that too. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's only persuasion and deception. Ooh, not in.
Well, I'm going to say you can make this a persuasion, right? I mean, I think if the benefits of an eloquence bar do not come into effect in this situation, like when are they going to be useful?
It was persuasive.
So yeah, I think
Very-
persuasion is
Great
That's
call.
nothing for you guys.
So go ahead.
I would say that's persuasion.
Super
Yeah.
appreciate that. Then the lowest I can
Yeah.
get, which it would be with a 4 on the dice, keeping the same die roll, is 25.
25.
The lowest.
Okay. All right.
25.
This is
So
25.
I'm gonna roll for these guys.
I love bards.
Yeah. Every single one of them fails. they drop their weapons. As they do, the door breaks down. A unicorn rides in, and on top of the unicorn is Stan Partus, and he goes, "Y'all are saved now." But it's too late. You guys, you didn't even need Stan's assistance or the unicorn's assistance.
Fantastic.
You intimidated them and killed them. You kept on killing them until they were dead.
All right. So before we get started, I just want to do those end of the round stats because I forgot that last round. We had the party damage at a whopping 217 damage, and remember that was from a lot of the smites. That was a paladin attacking 3 times. We got the crown of stars in there. So much damage. The assassins, this was their highest damaging round, even though there was the fewest number of assassins. They did 60 damage. So the attack to hit ratio, and it was the players hit all of their attacks. Again, bardic inspiration advantage. That bless from potion of heroism really helps keep that to hit ratio up. The assassins hit 3 of their 7 attacks, but that was still so much better than previous rounds. It's probably because the holy aura was brought down after Nick used banishment and then had drop concentration on holy aura. Yeah, so the opponent and then there were 3 turns lost to that banishment. So thoughts for that round?
So, just from a design perspective, the damage started to come through, and we wanted that to be the intimidation factor. Obviously, that intimidation factor didn't come in till the very end of just how much damage these assassins can do because of very smart spell choice. And that's the thing about like level 15 encounters. Sometimes I hate when players say, "Oh, that encounter was easy." It's like, no, that encounter was on a knife's edge. Yes, you got out of the encounter only taking 1 hit, but had you not done the disadvantage, you would have taken a lot more. It's full or zero. A lot of these high level encounters are a knife's edge. So
And I want to bring back something that you were saying during the last round, which was players who are like, "Oh, support characters don't do anything," and I think this is a really important. Like, this would be just a great time to talk about that because we're just saying, "Oh, that encounter was easy." Well, yeah, but there was a lot of disadvantage from the enemies because of support. Can you tell me more about your thoughts on support versus like, let's say, damage dealers?
It's a lot of players. I love these players. A lot of players playing optimally. The dice manipulation is huge in like Warhammer or 5th edition, etc. And just all the dice manipulation that this party is able to do between divination, wizard, portents, the bard giving out advantage, the amazing spell selection of I keep forgetting what the aura spell is, giving disadvantage. So all of the dice manipulation is coming in a lot. And with this party on paper, it's quote unquote 3 support characters with 1 damage dealer. Although clerics can do huge damage.
Huge damage.
The divination wizard did do huge damage. Bards can throw out a lot of damage and a lot of crowd control. So on paper, there's only like quote unquote 1 damage dealer, and the paladin did go paladin mode. But
Absolutely.
the support characters. The support, and I love playing support classes because just battlefield controlling, letting things happen. The support classes did make without bardic inspiration, the paladin would have missed one of her smites, and those are some big smites. Missing a 40 damage attack off of rolling a 14 instead of a 15 is kind of but because the bard is there with giving out the inspiration, that was the tipping point. So the support classes make things happen. And like I said earlier, when it's your turn and you take you waited for the other 3 players to go and then you swing and you miss, that feels really bad. But having those support classes there that guarantee results is huge.
It is huge.
Consistency.
And I think this is a really great kind of way to just to show how D&D is a game that like every person at the table is a player. It is a team game. It is a cooperation game. It's not just cooperative storytelling, but it's also cooperative battles as well. You have to know how you can support your players, what they can do, and how everyone can help each other to finish the encounter. Any thoughts on this last round before we move to final thoughts about the battle?
A lot of I liked the banishment. Losing the disadvantage did suck. I just love banishment because you're taking out 4 actions in one go.
Yeah.
But then the ones that were shooting no longer at disadvantage did do a lot of damage. No, great DMing. Having the unicorn break in is not what I was expecting. The morale check, and like you said, the morale checks are fantastic. And just from a game design perspective, I think that the motivations of the characters and why they're because like if you're fighting in a life or death situation, that's a huge deal, and a lot of people don't recognize that from because you're playing a game. It's like, oh yeah, but in a D&D setting, like if someone is fighting to live, they've got to have a really good reason to do it, whether that be zealotry or belief or self-defense or something. So having the morale check, I think, is fantastic. And I love the bard player. The bard player is fantastic, and just hopping up and saying, "Hey guys, is this really worth your while?" And then just the great RP of there's Fallout New Vegas really inspired a lot of, I think, a lot of our. I think we're all gamers of the same generation, but it's just like there's multiple solutions that don't involve combat all the time, and having the bard swing that swing the situation.
Right. I mean, the fight was definitely heading in one direction anyway, and I think everyone could see that. And then having the bard just go and be like, "Hey, we know where this is heading," and then having to make that sort of persuasion was perfect.
Yeah.
I will also say when you were talking about the use of banishment, and I agree, it's sort of like a trade-off. Like you don't have that disadvantage anymore, but you're getting rid of some of the enemies. And Ula said it. I think he was like switching gears, and it's also just your thought on like round progression, encounter progression, and how like each round sort of has its own sort of gear fix. Like we saw. Well, maybe this might be good for final thoughts. So I'll ask that question in final thoughts.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of final thoughts. Responses I want to get, but I'm saving them for final thoughts.
Okay. So let's do end of the round end of the round battle stats. So at the end of the battle, the party did 512 damage, and the assassins did 131. The attack to hit ratios was 16 out of 17 attacks landed for the party. So they hit all but 1 attack, and the assassins 8 out of 31. So again, that disadvantage was a huge piece there. The opponent made the enemies lose 4 turns, and of the saves, the the party had the opponents fail 5 of their 7 saves, and the assassins, and then the party passed all the assassin saves for the poison damage and such. Thoughts on the battle in whole?
Like you said earlier, it is a collaborative game, and the party works well together. The giving, the people have separate. I don't want to say roles because D&D you can do a lot of things, but
Sure.
like the bard giving out the buffs, the cleric creating action economy and destroying action economy, the wizard doing a ton of damage with Crown of Stars, and the paladin doing what paladins do best. Is
Yeah.
the
I wouldn't even say they're roles, but there are things that each character can excel at, and things that other characters do better. And it's not saying that anyone is more important than the other. They're only good when they're put together. Because if they start, and you could tell that this team of players work superbly together. They know how to help each other and support each other. So if they were all acting independently, it would have been a much different fight, I think.
absolutely. I think human nature and anime has told us that the power of friendship overcomes everything. So I think that's definitely on display here.
Absolutely. And something I was asked earlier, but I wanted to say for final thoughts was the pacing of the encounter. So like we can see, like, there was a setup round. We had like round 1, 2. At one point, Ola, who's playing Nick, switched from Holy Aura, concentrate on Holy Aura, to concentrate on Banishment because he was like, it's time to switch gears. I just want to get like some of your thoughts on like encounter sort of pacing and how that goes through. I know most D&D encounters won't go past round 4 or 5, so there's a lot that like can happen. But there's also the pacing really does matter as well. What are your thoughts on that?
I think pacing is difficult from a design perspective because again, you know your players better than I know your players. So when we do write things, we need to keep it for the average party. I think the pacing is great, DM's great, players are great. People know their stuff. From the design perspective, when we went into writing this, it was okay. We want this to be able to introduce a BBEG or some kind of villainous faction. The party, it can be a gala, it can be whatever. So, the pacing that was intended was, big speech, then the assassins go ham on the crowd, then, round 2, there's the decision of, okay, is this battle worth fighting? Do we get people out? In the original writing, the doors are barred, which is in this one as well. The doors are barred so people can't escape. And no, the DM saying, yeah, in 3 rounds something's going to happen. I love that because that really puts pressure on the players. That puts pressure on that. So I think the pacing is. I hope the pacing, as the designer, and I want to talk to the DM about this after, that the pacing for it worked out. But that was the intent, and the intent is not always going to show through.
Right. Well, I think you really kind of hit upon it too, when you were saying that you talk to the DM like at your table, you're the DM, you have your players, better, because when writing, there are thousands of combinations of classes, multi-classes, party composition. I assume you can't write for all of them, so you kind of have to focus on the big pieces and trust that the DM and the players will sort of fill in the gaps between, right?
Yes.
So what I just want to get just for the last couple minutes, do you think the play of the game? What was the thing that sort of really kind of shifted the battle one way or the other?
There's the AOE disadvantage, I think. Right off the bat, I really like that. Although the bard telling people to stand down was also great. The the Crown of Stars just popping up. Because that adds to the intimidation factor. If you get hit by Crown of Stars, and then like the DM said, you kind of just melted. I think that's a psychological standpoint.
or the fury of a like super upset paladin charging toward you.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is tough to get a play. I think I think you're right. Every player did some really great actions and role play in that game.
Yeah, mathematically, it was the disadvantage, I think.
Mathematically, I'd have to agree with you. That was a huge swing in their favor right at the start. And then I found too after running through a lot of these battles that um, doing something early on, like in the first round or two, like in the first round, really has an impact on how the rest of that battle is going to play out. So having that disadvantage right from the start, huge.
And the setup round really lends itself to that. So, big props. I'm gonna talk to my guys and be like, hey, let's try this setup round.
That's awesome. Well, I wanted to say thank you so much again for coming through and being just a really great source of knowledge, especially like the behind the scenes knowledge you have for this counter that you wrote. It was really amazing having you on. Thanks again, Josh.
Okay, so that was the battle, and a couple of things I was thinking about it. We were just discussing this first before my thoughts. Thanks again to Josh and Drop In Boss Battles. It was really fun. Again, having the privilege of like speaking directly to a creator while we're playing the game. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So I had thoughts about comparing this time playing with Team Norway to the last time, and I guess it's a fair comparison because the players are the same excellent players. A little bit of a different flavor. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to all the folks in Team Norway who just took their characters and really ran them optimally, both mechanically and RP wise. I love how they bring the role play.
Yeah.
It really adds to the element of the battle.
They all did some really good role play. Yeah.
And in addition to that, they also with that setup round were able to really kind of put themselves off on a good
just crushed it. Yeah. I think I gave them a few too magic items for like characters built specifically for one battle. But one thing that I thought was interesting was the difference between how those two battles were. This battle was like had a lot of bad guys,
right.
And the last time they essentially just were busting on one vampire that was supposedly stronger than them but wasn't. So I think the point is like take the paladin, right? The paladin in the previous adventure did. Just destroyed the big boss, and this time the paladin did, I think, as good a job at dealing damage and more damage, but with so many foes, it was really the I think the AOE stuff and ability to like eliminate characters from the battle and alter the action economy, which was huge.
Yeah, absolutely. When you say alter action economy, the holy aura that gave them disadvantage, the banishment that removed them, these were all things that in the battle really kind of made tip the scales toward the players.
Yeah.
I'll also say this was a huge map. I loved how there were so many enemies and pretty much good NPCs, like the crowd that you didn't want to start just dropping fireballs on.
Right, that affected. That was the cool thing about that battle, and it affected it. I thought it was really interesting trade off between the holy aura and banishment. Right, you let go of the holy aura. As soon as the holy aura went down, the bad guys started really doing some significant damage. But then they were able to take out a significant amount of them too.
Right, and I think we mentioned this at one point, and Ola said, switching gears. There's few enough bad guys now that disadvantage won't be as strong as just removing a few of them.
End game. Let's put the hammer down.
End game, exactly. And this is also a really great example of a level 15 play. You're looking at high level play, lots of big spells. I think you're right, the magic items. Just like all of our battles here, players are going to go Nova because they haven't had battles before or after.
Right.
Though it definitely shows just how well a battle or an encounter can go. Even in 3 rounds, there's still a lot that can be done within those 3 rounds.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's it.
I think that's it too. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks. Take care.